Today we will recount the exemplary story of Abraham negotiating with Abimelech and in the purchase of Sarah's burial site, found in the book of Genesis, chapters 21 and 23. May the word of God reach our hearts as a source of inspiration for our lives. In a majestic encounter, King Abimelech sought out Abraham and expressed, "Clearly God is with you in all that you do, so let's make an agreement for there to be peace between your people and mine." Abraham, pondering on an urgent matter, replied, "I agree, but there's an issue we need to address. Your people have taken one of my wells." The king, surprised, exclaimed, "I wasn't aware of that. Why didn't you tell me earlier? I'll take care of it immediately." Thus they established an agreement, and to seal the alliance, Abraham presented Abimelech with cattle and sheep, reserving, however, 7 lambs. Intrigued, the king questioned the reason, and Abraham explained, "Accept these 7 lambs as a testimony that this well belongs to me." With that, the king accepted the 7 lambs, and Abraham named the place Beersheba, which means well of the oath. In an act of devotion, he planted a tamarisk tree and worshipped the Lord, the eternal God. The agreement flourished under the shade of the tree, symbolizing the lasting peace between the two peoples. Time, relentless in its passage, witnessed the death of Sarah, a matriarch who lived 127 years. At this moment, Abraham's camp was near Hebron, leading him to seek a place to bury his beloved wife. With a heavy heart, he approached the Hittites and said, "We all share this land. Allow me to buy a place to bury my dead." The Hittites, recognizing Abraham's stature as chosen by God, promptly granted his request. Abraham rose with a sense of reverence, bowing deeply before the 2 illustrious figures before him. With a humble yet determined tone, he addressed them, "Among you is the owner of a remarkable cave, situated at the edge of a field. I implore you to speak to him on my behalf. Persuade him to sell it to me at the full price." A man, acknowledging Abraham's request, stepped forward. "I am he," he declared, "and I assure you that you can bury your dead in this sacred space without cost." In a public gathering, before the attentive eyes of the community, the 2 men engaged in negotiations. Abraham, with sincerity stamped on his face, spoke, "Grant me the privilege to buy this cave for its full value." The man, with a magnanimous spirit, replied, "The cave is valued at 400 shekels of silver. But what is money between us? Bury your loved ones freely in its depths." Unyielding, Abraham carefully weighed the 400 shekels and, in a touching demonstration, handed the amount to the man before the gathered witnesses. Thus, in the serene expanse of the cave in Hebron, Sarah found her final resting place, and the cave became a symbol of Abraham's enduring legacy, engraved in the tapestry of his remarkable journey. In a deeper look at the death of Sarah, a skillful negotiation stands out, revealing Abraham's shrewdness. Abraham, immersed in the pain of loss, felt the weight of duty on his shoulders. The land where his beloved Sarah would rest would not be acquired in just any way. With determination, he approached Ephron, the Hittite, a man whose lands were as saturated with history as the very dust that covered them. Ephron, perhaps sensing the magnitude of the request, initially offered the generous donation of the land. However, Abraham, aware of the etiquette of Eastern negotiations, insisted on paying a fair price. Ephron's resistance became apparent, but Abraham, as steadfast as the roots of an ancient tree, persisted. Words floated like leaves in the wind, and Ephron, aware of the importance of the buyer, yielded. Instead of following the tradition of haggling, Abraham chose a unique approach. Without averting his gaze, without hesitation, he paid the requested amount in full. Everyone knew that the Hittites guarded their lands with fierce devotion, rarely relinquishing them to strangers. However, Abraham, respected as a prince and prophet, was not a man to be refused. The concluded transaction echoed not only in the hills of Hebron, but reverberated in history, marking the sagacity and integrity of Abraham, the dealer of a land where the legacy of Sarah would rest. This is the seventh and final part of a series where we tell the biblical story of Abraham and his family. Stay with us to not miss the next chapters of this important story for all of us. And if you missed the previous episodes, we have a complete playlist with all the videos in chronological order. Our next video series will tell the story of Isaac and his family. You can't miss it. If you're not subscribed to our channel yet, click the subscribe button and join our community. Also, don't forget to comment, leave a like, and click on the notification bell. Your presence and participation here mean a lot to us. Today, I want to share a verse from the book of Genesis, chapter 21, verses 22 and 23. Abimelech said to Abraham, "God is with you in everything you do. Now swear to me here before God that you will not deceive me, my children, or my descendants. Deal with the nation that welcomed you as a foreigner in the same kindness I treated you. May the presence of God be a constant in your life, bringing blessings, joy, and love. God bless you."